What's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for coming back for another video. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. If you have been doing well, hope you've been having hope you had a good weekend, and I hope your week has been going great as well. My week has been going well as my weekend. I took a few days off from my day job. Let me fix this on my tripod. Okay, I'm good. And anyways, that's not what this video is about. In this video, I'm going to just talk to you and show you how to hold a brush pen for calligraphy, because I've been doing it for a good bit and I can show you my technique. And just let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts about brush pen calligraphy, and as well as how do you hold it, and what are some things that you have been struggling with brush pen calligraphy. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. The first thing we are going to discuss about brush pens are holding it. So the first thing with holding a brush pen, you'd want to make sure that you're not holding it too tight. Let me make sure my head is not blocking the shot. With your brush pens, you want to make sure that you're not holding it too tight, because if you're holding it too tight, it's going to make you uncomfortable. And then also another thing is that you will strain this little muscle here that you may think it's nothing now. Oh, that's not going to happen to me, and etc., etc. But whenever you are working on a piece or whatever, or just even practicing, going through that motion, holding the pen super tight, you're going to strain yourself. And I've learned that from experience, and it does not feel good. So you want to be loose to the point of comfortability, and this will all come with the more practice you do, and as well as how you hold the pen. I tend to hold my brush pens like this because that is what works for me. And then how you actually write it on the paper, and at what angle you have the pen. Because let's say I am doing the letter E. I'm gonna have the pen held right here, not up here, a little bit up, so I have a little bit of clearance so my fingers won't get in the way, fingernails or whatever. And as you see here, how whenever I'm going to write, have my hand tilting down. So the position that you're sitting in also plays a lot, also determines a lot, whether you're doing brush pen, copper plate, and also brush pen calligraphy. Because you want to be comfortable in the right position, not feeling stressed, because calligraphy is therapeutic and relaxing. And you get my drift. So let's get to it. Writing the letter E, I'm going to have my pointer finger sitting here, and then my thumb will lift up. This is just the way how I have developed. And as you see, I'm moving my whole arm, and that also helps with strain. Because let's see, it helps with strain, and that's just a technique that I developed from watching others and videos. So let's see how the letter S would look if I did not move and I just stayed positioned one way. So that is staying positioned, no movement. And now let me show you how it'll look if you are taking the same approach that I did when I was writing the letter E. And you know, having movement, not being so tight, being loose and relaxed, so you can enjoy writing calligraphy. And whether you do it professionally or as a hobby, so as you see here, it's a lot more fluid, a lot more cleaner lines, thicks and thins. Don't have much of this happening, hardly any, but that is, you know, a great example. If you want to just really let it flow, as the more practice you do with using brush pens, whether it is a brush pen like this with a nice nib that you could use for copper plate, or whatever your heart desires. And now we're going to talk about the angles. I switched up pens on you to have a better visual representation of a marker with a thicker nib, because this is a better pen for beginners to start out with. So let's say I want to have a thick line. I'm just going to be writing it. Let me switch up on you. This right here is nib fully pressed on the paper. And then now we're going to do it at an angle. So as you see, was at an angle here, and if you follow along, the cool thing about brush pens is that there's so many different ways you can approach it and so many different styles you could develop. But the main thing is to get down your tools and how to use them properly to do what you're trying to do with the task at hand. So this 45-degree angle, and then now if you want to get thick and thin, a good thing to practice if you are a beginner is this. And I say that practicing this right here, we could just call this a thick and thin wave, because you're going to go up, you're going to be lightly pressed, and then when you're going down, that is when you're going to apply pressure. And doing this right here will allow you to learn the different pressure points. And learning the different pressure points will allow you to be able to know where to construct the letter and the proper way to go about doing it, because you may think, oh, Jostin, this is stuff I already know. Why am I following these rules? Why do I need to do that? It's just because, let's see, if you want to really actually improve and apply what I'm showing you here, let's say you don't follow any of this. You can do your B like this. And then do the brush like that. For the average person, is this in frame? Are we in frame? There we go. For the average person, this may be illegible and they may not know what it means or what the word actually says. And that right there is really, I take it as not following this, the thicks and thins. Because let's say I redid that. And as you see here, it just looks like a mess. There's nothing really consistent about the letter. So if I follow this approach that I mentioned here, the thick and thins, so if I go down like that, come up like that, and then I go around like that, and just look at the difference. We got from this to this, we got the thins here, and then it's getting thicker here, and then we got the thin part here, and then it's starting to get thicker here, thicker, and we finish. And now we're going to, what is the part of this letter called? Is it the bowl? I don't remember, but stay on this train with me. Same thing, applying the principles from here, from the thick and thin wave. Got, you can see, change the angle here. It's lifted up. And then as we come through here, this is the thickest. And then we are starting to lift. And then once you get close to the lifting, that's when you know you're finishing. Hey, it's not what I mean. And really, to sum it up, with brush pen lettering, so much you could do with it, so many different styles that you can create, and you could push it so far. I appreciate you taking the time to come through and hang out with me for a little bit, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. Peace and love. Don't forget to check out all the links in the motherfucking description. Peace.